Do you feel sometimes like you're rudderless and adrift upon the sea of mediocrity of everybody telling you, hey, just go for what you can reach for? Or maybe it's just a case of, you have no idea of how to create the vision of what you want other than what society tells us we want. And so we do the best that we can at what comes at us instead of looking to have a future that is ours. I know for the longest time, I was told I would never amount to anything, that I was worthless. And that was from my own mother. And I believed her because I didn't have another form of encouragement. I didn't have other people saying, yeah, you're great, because I stepped back into, well, the sea of mediocrity. I did the bare minimum of what was required of me. I did the bare minimum of what was necessary to survive and at least keep my head above water. And it wasn't until September 8th, September 9th of 2001 that I realized just how rudderless I had been. That was the day that I met my future husband. It was the day that I gained a bit of a vision. I gained a supporter, gained a friend, I gained somebody who saw me. And in that time, I've also had a lot of angels. And it was one of those angels that brought me together with my husband. Sometimes we can be staring an opportunity in the face, though we let the voices in our head take over. We let the voices reign. We believe them. We don't have belief in ourselves. We believe everybody else, though we don't believe ourselves. And as time went on, I slowly started looking at some of the beliefs thanks to the angels in my life, the people that I met, the books that I read, the classes that I took. Though it wasn't until 7 years ago when a good friend of mine introduced me into a direct selling company. And that's when I decided that this one was going to be different, because it was the third one I had tried. But this was the first time I had a friend who believed in me and said, go for it. That was my husband. I was no longer adrift, if you will, but I was still kind of aimless. I didn't have an idea of how to set a goal, how to make a dream. Beyond that feeling that I knew that I was supposed to help people, I thought, well, maybe this is it. Maybe this is my new passion and rudder. And it took a couple of years. I enjoyed it. I was immersed in it. I liked it. Believed in the product, though it still wasn't right. And for the first time in my life, I decided that I was done following what didn't fit, what was mediocre and enough to make me survive. And so I stepped into a new world because of another angel, my best friend, who said, hey, I can't see you doing this the rest of your life. You are meant for more. And so she's like, in her fashion, goes, I could totally see you being a coach because that's what you do. And she planted the seed, and that was the end of it. It was born. And I stepped out into a newer world, one that is hard and that I've been working on for the last 4 years, going on 5. I've been working on myself because any good coach has to go as deep as they want their clients to go. And so I've been digging really deep into the shit of life, the stuff that we gained from others, the stuff that other people told us who we believed because we were supposed to love them and they were supposed to love us. But we have to learn that trust and respect and love all come from one place to begin with. Love of ourselves, respect in ourselves, belief in ourselves. And I had to find that again. I had to look all the way back to when I was a kid, when I had that confidence before my mother started in, when she realized that I wasn't what she wanted. And that was something that was an eye-opener for me. I can be who I am. I can be quirky and funny. I can be confident. I can believe in myself. I can stand up for myself. And I can do all of these things and not be adrift. I can learn. I can seek out coaches. I can seek out the people who have already done it. And then I can turn around and help others do the same. So if you're adrift on that sea, let's have a conversation. Because I've been there, done that, and I've decided that no more will I be rudderless, but I'm going to have a vision. Because as they say, if you aim at nothing, you hit nothing. And so empowered clarity has really become my mission for others. Because as I'm gaining that clarity of myself and I'm gaining the clarity of where I want to go, then I'd like to bring you along. Because that's the thing that we need. We need empowered clarity. We all need to find that purpose, if you will, even though we already know what it is. We've just let other people poo-poo on it or tell us stuff or tell us how we're supposed to be, how we're supposed to be doing things, how we're supposed to be having, how we're supposed to have the life the life that we have, the job, the 2.5 kids, the expensive cars, all of this stuff. No, we don't need all of that stuff. What we need is to stay true to ourselves, to have that integrity, to have that belief and respect and self-trust within ourselves. Do you have that? Do you let others tell you where you should go? Because here's the thing. You are far more capable than you think. It doesn't take a huge crisis or a huge epiphany or anything else to realize that life is a wonderful thing. I had a huge epiphany this weekend when my daughter turned the tables on me. We went up to the aquarium and they had a ropes course and we decided to do it. Well, I had to do it with her because she's not quite old enough yet to do it by herself. And I'm like, oh, sure, rope course, that's great. Till we got to the first platform and I looked down and had a small case of vertigo. And guess what? The fear kicked in. It's like, oh man, am I going to be doing this the entire time? Is this going to happen? And my daughter's laughing at me. And I said, well, I had a touch of vertigo. And then I slowly, once I had centered myself on the horizon, looked down, I was okay. But that little niggling little bit of fear was still there. And it made me laugh in a way because I'm like, here I am talking most of the time about conquering fear, and here I'm standing in it. Yet, as we went across one and we were getting ready to do another one, and she's like, you going first? Am I not? And she looks at me as I said, well, I'm going to because that's the only way you conquer fear. And she goes, yep. One step at a time, Mom. One step at a time. And go slow. You don't have to be in a race. Who knew that my daughter was listening to me after all these years, right? So she's telling me this, and as I'm like, sure, I got this. And I did. I took one step at a time. I centered in on myself and said, I'm bigger than my fear. And by doing that, I realized that I'd been hiding from my own vision for so long. That I, with all this empowered clarity that I thought I had, wasn't really employing it the right way. I've never had somebody sit down and say, hey, what are your dreams? What do you want from life? How do you figure out what you want? I've done this 7 layers deep and, so to speak, found my why, though it never really sat deep enough. It was still a surface level why. And walking across that wire on that rope course, I kind of realized that vision is really simple. It really is. To have the clarity of where you want to go, you kind of have to look back to where you've been. And I was halfway across the rope before this really hit. And I turned and I looked at my daughter and I said, when did we roll reverse? When did you become the smart one? And she just kind of looks at me and goes, well, duh, I came from you. I've listened to you. And we're sitting in the middle of a ropes course and we're having this conversation. It was also one of the first days that I've seen my daughter have a confidence in herself. And it made me realize that I needed to find my center, to find my rudder, if you will. So if you're feeling adrift on that sea of mediocrity, of like, I know I'm meant for more, it can get better. It will get better. Because all you have to do is conquer one small fear. Now, I was doing this rope course, and in all that time that we were doing it until I got across and then I started laughing at myself, it wasn't like I was ever going to fall. It's attached to a lifeline. That's what confidence is. That's what we are here for. We're here to do all these things. We're here to be wealthy. We're here to be healthy. We're here to make an impact, to leave a legacy, to live a full life in all of our categories. We're meant for more. We are the ones that hold ourselves back. We look at the world not through rose-colored glasses, but frankly, we look through it through other people's glasses. And that never works because they're not made for us. We have to find our set. We have to make them. And so, what are you going to do today to overcome just one of your tiniest little fears? I know there's a lot of people out there who don't like to public speak. Well, I was one of them. Now, yes. Do I get nervous? Yes. I just reframe it as I'm getting excited because I found that mission. I found that passion to help people find that empowered clarity to learn about themselves, to use the resources that they have right now because we have everything we need to get started and do what we need to do. So let's have a conversation. You can find me at gracefulwarriorcoaching.com. You can find me at Graceful Warrior Coaching on Facebook. You can find me under Barbara Ann Shepherd 13 on Instagram. And you can find me in a lot of different places. I'll post the bio, my link down underneath. It's in my Instagram, LinkedIn bio. And let's have a conversation. Let's get you out of the sea of mediocrity, of being adrift. Let's start that engine. Let's set that rudder and let's set that course. And let's plan on the target that you are going to hit. And let's aim at something. Even if we find out it's the wrong something down the way. Let's start with something. And it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to. Start with one. One step, one person. One anything. One better meal. One step out your front door trying to get healthy. That's all it takes. We don't have to do it today. We don't have to have the goal done today. But we have to have something to work for. Now, I know this one's a bit longer, but sometimes we need that. And if you've made it all the way to here, thank you. Put a like, put a comment, or share it with somebody you think needs to hear this. Because frankly, this is the whole reason I do it. I want to help you become your version of success. I want your vision to come into reality so that you can help other people in your chosen passion, doing what you love. Are you ready for that? Are you ready to step past fear and into an awesome life? I hope so. And I hope to hear from you soon.